Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the one and the only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I'm your host, Rumboyz Robbie, aka the Admiral, here on this pirate ship, also known well as the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you, first off, spike the like here on this piece of content. Second off, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're feeling tempted, you want to support the premium level of content that we're about to have come out this off season, go ahead and join the channel as well for some premium content. Also, go ahead and share tonight's content as well on your Facebook, your Snapchat, your TikTok, your Instagram, your Twitter, wherever you have fantasy friends or foes accessible. Go ahead and share the Rumboyz Fantasy Network to them. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead. Oh, give me just 1 second here. Oh, shit. Oh, no worries. No worries. We're going to be all good. Okay. I'm going to bring on our guest here momentarily in just a quick second, but I do want to remind you guys of a couple of quick reminders really fast for all of your daily fantasy sports needs. I know that football is done, and we're going to break it down some fantasy football for you guys tonight. Go ahead and check us out on monkeyknifefight.com. Again, that is monkeyknifefight.com. Promo code Rumboyz in all caps. Just like how you see on the banner right there, the same way that you see it above me. Promo code Rumboyz in all caps. Check us out, monkeyknifefight.com. We have college basketball popping off over there. We have NBA action popping off over there. Whenever the MLB gets back underway, we're going to have that popping off as well. UFC daily fantasy for all the fight fans out there. So make sure you check out monkeyknifefight.com. Go to download the app if you have Android. If you have Apple, download the app on your phone, Monkey Knife Fight. Promo code Rumboyz. We're matching deposits all the way up to $50. All right, so make sure you guys get in there and check us out. Another thing I want to let everybody know about is that we are also dropping some versus battles over on sportsme.com. I want to go ahead and introduce you all to sportsme.com. I'm actually going to go ahead and drop that link. And it's not, I shouldn't say .com. I apologize. It is, hang on 1 second, y'all. Apologize here. It's an app that you guys can download on both Apple and Android. Check us out, sportsme.com. If you enjoy TikTok and you've participated on TikTok, check out SportsMe. It's a lot like that, except it's versus battles, analyst versus analyst. You guys can hop in there and join up a couple of the battles if you have not already. That's really all I wanted to update you guys on really quick, just to start off the show and get things underway. Again, I dropped that link right there. SportsMe. Go ahead and click the link, download the app, get in on the battles. Let's go ahead and introduce our special guest for tonight. I had to stall because situations occur in the field, so we got that out the way. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Fantasy Football Confidential, Linda Lyons. What's up?
Boy, that's a hell of a way to start a show with my computer. I was like, okay, and we're live. And then my computer said, you are not. I was like, okay. And then it wouldn't turn back on. I'm like, oh, shit, this is not good. But we're back. I'm ready to go.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Like how I stalled there, though. Like I was just like, I'm going to just keep running my own ads until I run out of ads. Like, perfect. Yeah.
I knew if anybody could stall, it would be you.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. So tonight's topic of discussion here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network is 2020 end of season wide receiver rankings, and we're actually going to speculate here on where these wide receivers are going to end at the end of the 2021 season. So first things first, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Rumboyz and girls, what it do, dilly dilly, cheers. Can't have a good show without the cheers. And we work our way down from number one, starting with Devontae Adams. So Linda Devontae Adams, I mean, had 18 touchdowns last year, 1,300 yards, and 115 receptions. But obviously, the 101 when it came to the wide receiver position last year in terms of redraft. Even in Dynasty, if you had him, you were happy. What are your thoughts on Devontae Adams heading into next year? Is he going to repeat the same performance? Does he regress? What's the outlook?
I don't think he regresses much. I think Green Bay is definitely going to add a competent somebody to the other side of the ball. So I'm not sure, he may lose a couple of targets, but I think ultimately that helps him. Because defenses are going to have to worry about somebody else. Not that it really affects him that much, but I think ultimately it helps him. He may not finish the 101, but I have no problem still taking him in dynasty startups at 101. I think he could drop 2 maybe, but he's for sure going to finish top 10 next year.
No, top 10 for sure. I think that it'll be there's only going to be a few guys throughout tonight's list that may end up outside that top 10, but Adams, I can for sure see ending top 5 as long as you have that bad man Aaron Rodgers back there under center at quarterback. Then it's a happy day for you. Ended the year with 243 fantasy points out of his 14 games played, and averaged about 17.4 fantasy points. I mean, of course that's his standard. But I mean, either way you slice it. What? So in PPR, you would add a couple more. He had 26 points on average in PPR leagues. So I mean, you're still getting a top prospect. Like you said, I would probably risk it for the biscuit and still draft him 101 overall. Maybe he ends top 3 at the least. Like he ends at the 3rd spot at the least. Next up on the list, this man actually just competed in the Super Bowl and had his very own peace sign flash in his face. That shit was savage.
I ate that shit up. People are so mad. I'm like, that is.
I was mad because it's like, hey, bro, earlier in the year, Tyreek Hill, who we're about to talk about, he backflipped into the end zone and gave you a peace sign. You just got to sit there and be like, y'all haven't scored a single touchdown. But I mean, this Super Bowl, different day conversation for a different conversation. Kansas City, get your shit together. I'm mad that I lost money on you, but it is what it is. Don't bet against the GOAT. But what is your outlook on one Tyreek Hill?
I think kind of the same thing that I said for Devontae Adams. I'm not a Hardman truther. I don't think the wide receiver 2 is on that team outside of Travis Kelce, who's that's your wide receiver 1 technically. So I think Tyreek Hill also needs some help maybe on the other side of the ball. Clearly he's fast, but if he can, I don't know that he's going to finish 102 next year. I can't get behind that. I would say he regresses a little.
Yeah, this is one that when it comes to the top tier guys, that I'm like, all right, I'm more impressed with Devontae Adams more, and I think that Adams has a high opportunity of repeating. Hill worries me because he's born in 94, so he's going to be turning 27. He'll be 27.
Be careful what you say about 27-year-olds.
Hey, I mean, I'm in my 30s. I'll be in my 30s this year, entering my 30s. So I mean, I can't hate. So I do worry. It's like, okay, is that speed still going to be 100% there? Like you just mentioned, defenses are going to be able to now game plan for him and Kelce. It's him and Kelce all day. Cole should be a wide receiver 2, but they don't really utilize a wide receiver 2. They just throw anyone and everyone in at the wide receiver 2, and it's like, catch the ball, which is fine because this offense is able to do that. This offense is going to produce Tyreek Hill as a top 5 guy, but I think that 5 is where he could probably land, just because defenses are going to have have more knowledge, have more film on them. And he is going to be a year older, so you're going to lose a step in speed. But congratulations on 87 catches and 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable taking Devontae Adams as wide receiver 1 than I would feel taking Tyreek Hill as wide receiver 2.
Okay. Okay. I like this. I like this. And if you guys at home, you'll notice we're just gonna kind of move these guys around a little bit. And when ADP fully comes out and it is fully ready and finished, I don't like going with way too early ADP. Like, right when the season ends, I like to, for the rookies to get work in and stuff like that following the draft. But when that ADP comes out, when the rookies have made it to their teams, you'll start seeing some of these guys move around a lot. And you'll see that what we're doing tonight is just an exercise to kind of prioritize that for you all. So feel free, if you got a whiteboard, you got pen and paper at home, you got your notepad out on your phone, break it down with us and say, okay, I'm gonna move Tyreek Hill down to 5. Robbie said that, so on and so forth. You don't have to hold me to it. I just
don't bring it up if we're wrong, but if we're right, definitely bring it up again.
But if we're right, just know it's because we've been doing this for a hot minute. Experience plays. Stephon Diggs at number 3, my favorite wide receiver, probably out of this top 10. I mean, aside from the rookie that we'll talk about later, but Stephon Diggs, because of where you got him last year, and everyone was like, I don't think he's gonna do it in Buffalo. Josh Allen, he wasn't nice his last couple of years, and back like Josh Allen's going to make an upgrade. Like, watch Buffalo possibly even be a Super Bowl contender, and they were. And then Diggs was that piece that put them over the top. 127 receptions, 1,500 yards, 1,535, I should say, and 8 TDs. I think that this guy can literally land right at the 3 spot again. Like, I'm not moving him up or down. I'm going to say Stephon Diggs 3 again. Your thoughts, Linda?
It's so hard for me not to sign off on a 101 position for Stephon Diggs. I just love him so much, and I think he has that potential. I think he legitimately could be that good. I think you're right though. I love. It's so hard for me to objectively talk about Bills players. It's a problem. It's a really big problem. But I love Stephon Diggs. I could see him doing an exact repeat of this year. And I think Gabriel Davis is great, on the other side, and they started getting him more involved. And I think that offense is going to get even more lethal.
I like it. I like that take. Shout out to the wifey in the chat. This is biracially unfiltered. Thank you for the view, my love. Miles, he said, skip all top guys for a slew of running backs. Then nab Allen Robinson, Bobby Trees, Terry McLaurin, the F1 as your wide receiver 1, and be happy with the consistency. I love that theory, but we're just speculating. But
speculation, Miles.
Of course, though, like the Rumboyz theory is running back heavy. Like that is the we. I don't know why we're just really known for that, because it works, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I like to take 1 or 2 running backs, and then I just pound wide receiver for 12 rounds. And I'm like, okay, now just get some fill-ins. But that ended up me starting Brian Hill most of the season in a 16-team league.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
John said, I'm holding you to this. E on the mic. Rumboyz, give me money. Yo, mad love. E on the mic. Again, guys, I brought this topic up on Sports Me app. Like I mentioned before at the beginning of the show, if you are used to the functionality of TikTok, this is that, except for sports, for sports analysts, and a lot more enhancements, a lot more new features coming, and the Rumboyz are backing it. Sports Me, the official app of the Rumboyz Fans Network. I'm gonna get that down. It's new. It's in the works. It's developing. But yeah. But let's go ahead. Let's keep it rocking. Let's keep it moving. What's up, Troy? And let's get into our next receiver. So we're in agreement. Diggs, we're going to leave right there at top 3. We say to Adams, could maybe top 5 is pretty much where we landed. Like top 5. Tyreek Hill still top 5 just because of the offense that he's in, but worrying about the speed losing a step. They need to figure out getting Nicole worked in, or if a wide receiver 2 other than Kelsey. Number 4. This is going to sound so crazy, but I got to do this one time for the one time for Stepmom Lauren. DeAndre Chocolate Sauce Hopkins.
Oh my God.
All right, listen.
He do have a bum though. I'm just saying. It's
the story behind it is my former co-CEO, my former co-host, Ty Boogie. Our first year doing this, we have Stepmom Lauren on the show, and she's just like fangirling all over D Hop, and then he starts fangirling as well. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, if D Hop opens up the season with the touchdown, I'm just gonna pour chocolate sauce all over my body." And for some reason, like it just became a thing, and that's his nickname, and I don't know why, and it sounds very horrible when I say it that way. What's your thoughts on D Hop? Chocolate sauce.
I wouldn't. Okay.
New chocolate sauce.
Did he have to pour chocolate sauce on himself?
He did do that.
Okay. All right. I just needed to know.
He's so skinny too, so it's
you can't. Yeah, you can't tell that story and not give the ending result. I had to know. I love D Hop, but I think maybe he doesn't finish top 5.
Ooh. Okay. What about top 10 now? I'm loving this.
I think we see him maybe wide receiver 6 or 7. I just think that offense is weird, and I think there's going to be a lot of changes to the backfield, and Kyler's that mobile quarterback, and I'm just not sure he's got a wide receiver 4 in him.
I'm a piss people off. I'm gonna go D Hop at 8. I'm gonna go D Hop at 8 because I feel like that there are 2 receivers that we're gonna bring up. One of the receivers that we're gonna bring up next is gonna see a fucking drop. Like I think there's gonna be a drop. There's gonna be a decline, and I'm gonna justify that very, very, very well. But I think there's 2 young guys that are going to probably surpass D Hop, and just because, well, as long as Kyler Murray needs a step stool in order to reach the top of his fridge, D Hop might have some issues. And people are going to be like, well, what about what D Hop did? When he had Matt Schwab as his quarterback. Well, okay, I get that, but Schwab could still get the Cocoa Puffs, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
That's brutal. I didn't make that joke, Kyler. I know you're watching.
I interviewed Kyler, and like we're good homies, and I'm sorry, Kyler, but I had to. It's for the comedy of the show. You're gonna forgive me, bro. It's all good. Like I love you. Your interview is still the #1 interview out of all the rookies we did. You're the one I want. You're the one I want of the one I want. He's gonna be crazy. Next up for top 5, Calvin Ridley. Now, this is who I think has a significant drop-off, but I'll let you go first.
Oh, you think drop-off, huh? I like Calvin Ridley. I don't know. I could see him finishing as a wide receiver 1, but in that case, then I'm including all the way to 12. So I don't know about significant drop-off. The Dynasty Sons are going to hate me for this because they love Calvin Ridley. But I think I could see him finishing wide receiver 12 to like 8.
But I could see 12. Like I could submit it at 12. Like I see it at 12 just because Matt Ryan's old as shit. Good, bless you. But Matt Ryan's old as shit, and Julio could potentially be leaving. We already saw I feel like defenses knew how to key in on Ridley. And it's easier to key in on Ridley because you're not having whenever Julio is off the field. If Julio's going to be off the field, and we know that Julio's going to miss games, all I got to do is just pretty much play back because I know that Ridley's going to do nothing but run post routes all day. You're going to Russell Gage is the same exact replica pretty much of Ridley, where you're just going to use him as a burner. I'm not worrying about the Atlanta receivers without Julio. So I lose a lot of faith in their receiving core. I think 12 is a perfect landing spot in 2021. When the 2021 season closes out, that like we could be like, yep, Ridley, that's what we expected coming into it.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
We are super on the same wavelength, and I fucks with that.
I mean, he had 90 he had 90 receptions for 9 TDs. Like, get those catches up there a little bit earlier. I mean, we talked about Adams. You know, he had what 114, 115, some shit like that. I said earlier.
Yeah.
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 So I mean, it's like if you're trying to get into that territory, you know, even still, Tyreek Hill, you know, he didn't have this the triple digit receptions, but he had the double digit TDs because he also got the yards after the catch. With really, whenever I don't even have to look at the film. Whenever I just look at just the box score, the stats, you catch really deep balls. You'll go deep, you'll catch, and that's how you pick up your yards. Occasionally, here and there, there's some yak in between, but for the most part, it's either you're scoring in the box or either you've already ran deep enough to where by the time that Matt Ryan hits you on a dime, you're already in the end zone. You know,
I feel that.
just my personal belief. You know. But I like that we were both on the same page. Now, this is the one that we advertised in the promo today. Our number 6 overall. And I actually brought this up on the Sports Me app today. My dog, fucking Justin Jefferson. I'm so mad that COVID hit when I had the opportunity to interview this man because, my gosh, like, I'll let you start. Like, 14.
No, I'm the same way. I've seen, like, I saw Justin Jefferson go wide receiver 1 in a startup. I've already done 3. We don't need to talk about the fact that I have a problem. But so I saw him go wide receiver 1, and I was like, eh. But then, like 2 weeks later, I took him wide receiver 2 without a doubt in my mind. Like, I didn't even think twice about it. And then I thought about it for like the rest of the night. I was like, I have Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert on my team. What a good team. Those 2 picks in. But I think Justin Jefferson has a chance to finish top 5 for sure.
Yes, I'm planning. I'm cementing him right at 4. Right at 4. Like, I'm like,
I love the conviction.
I'm sold. I'm so sold. So like when I watched it, it's one thing to watch his LSU film and you're like, this guy's gonna be something. Like, you already know. But then when you watch his NFL film and you're like, oh my goodness, like, you are not just breaking, like, he is getting 4.5 yards of space between him and the DB before the ball even touches his damn hands, like before it just falls right into the breadbasket. Like, he has the most beautiful over the shoulder catch. Like, it is just 1,400 yards, 7 TDs. I promise you guys, the TDs are going to increase. The yards, you're satisfied already. He's gonna that yard production is gonna keep the same. Someone brought this up on Sports Me earlier, and it was E on the mic, and he has stated in response to my Justin Jefferson take that it is eerily similar to Randy Moss, and he had broken that 1,000-yard reception mark, and he was the first receiver to do so since Randy Moss. Coincidentally, guess what? In a fucking Vikings jersey, right? What did Randy Moss have back then that Justin Jefferson has right now? A mediocre quarterback, Dante Culpepper, Kirk Cousins, and a wide receiver 1. He came in as he was supposed to come in as a wide receiver 2 and eventually took over as a wide receiver 1. Randy Moss had Chris Carter. Justin Jefferson has Adam Thielen.
I love Adam Thielen too.
Like, this is just two mirror on the wall. Who's the best receiver of them all? Like, this is just too perfect. The narrative is created, and I'm telling you guys, especially in Dynasty, Linda has already told you. She said, "Hey, I'm in 3, and I'm grabbing them everywhere. Go get Justin Jefferson. Like, go get Justin Jefferson. You can make if you have to go and get him in the first round. I don't blame you. I literally don't blame you if that is your first round pick in Dynasty Startup. Like, I get avoiding some of the running backs and be like, you're going to be my longevity piece. Running backs are interchangeable. You're gonna find those guys. Like, they get recycled all the time. So you'll find those. I understand though in Dynasty if you go and get Justin Jefferson, and I'm off my soapbox.
Well, I just like to say one more thing. Justin Jefferson and LSU's Justin Jefferson scored 4 touchdowns against OU, and I despise OU. So for that fact alone, like coming into the season, I was already sold. I'm like, he's good. Didn't you see 4 touchdowns against the Sooners? Wasn't that hilarious? So
Great. Like,
I was already on board.
Let's go to the chat really quick before we go into the rest of these receivers. What's good, Daddy's home? Fantasy football. What up? What up? My homie Ant. AD, what's good? What's good, AD? He said D-Hop and Julio, great wide receivers that will shortly be on the tail end of their careers. I could not disagree with that more. Mainly with Julio more so. D-Hop, I still have faith in. What up, Jimmo? He's just an icon living. Triple M, what up? What up? Miles.
What the hell is that emoji?
I don't know what that emoji is. It looks like the Big Hero 6 dude from the Disney movie.
Yeah, that's definitely Baymax.
Good call. It looks like Baymax. What up, J Mike? Check 1 2. What it do? This one, really quick. Everyone out there. Cesar Gutierrez. He is fighting tomorrow on the UFC Fight Pass at 8. I think that is 8 Central, so we'll say like 9 Eastern. I'll get all the details for you guys. I'll post a YouTube announcement and a Twitter announcement tomorrow. But UFC Fight Pass tomorrow night. Rumboyz Fantasy Network sponsored fighter Cesar Gutierrez. He's about to go out there and he's about to throw down. I actually just shared a picture on Facebook. Look for the Rumboyz Fantasy logo on his gear when he marches out to the ring tomorrow. You'll see it. It's official, like a referee with the whistle. Referee, don't you damn stop that fight tomorrow with a whistle, unless it's a knockout by Cesar. You dig? Let's go. Linda, I sent you a trade offer. You're on the clock, says Jim.
Well, it's gonna have to wait. I'll get to it.
We're on air. What up, Uniform? What up? What up? Let's go ahead. Let's keep it moving. Wide receiver 7. This is a guy that the Rumboyz actually got to interview. DK, you asked me for this damn Rumboyz Fantasy Network shirt, bro. Put the damn shirt on. Like, put it on, bro. I gave you a 2X. I gave you the only 2X that we had. The 2X that was supposed to be for fucking Bosa. Okay, put your damn shirt on. I know you don't like wearing a shirt. I know. We'll put it on. DK Metcalf, 271.3 fantasy points in a total of 16 games played. Average you about 17 fantasy points per game. And of course, that's average. Everyone in the comments will be like, well, he got me 14 one week. I get it. All right. But that's just his average. I don't make up the fucking numbers. Numbers, men lie, women lie, but guess what? Numbers don't lie. What are your thoughts on DK? And I do know, before you probably say it, Linda, that Seattle apparently they're not happy with Russell Wilson as of this morning, which I believe to be a bunch of hogwash. Is Bullocks? You hear Bullocks?
Yeah, I don't believe that shit. No, I'm not worried about. I don't think Russell Wilson's going anywhere. I mean, I just don't. There's going to be a lot of QBs moving around. I don't think the Seahawks and Russell Wilson are a part of that carousel. If they get some offensive line help, which they need, and that'll be great. But as a Denver Broncos fan, offensive lines don't build themselves in one offseason. It takes time. It's a huge step from college to NFL. Mistakes get made. Places get found where you're most comfortable. So there's definitely, that's a huge step. And so for that reason, I don't know that DK sees a huge jump. I know the DK Metcalf stands, man, they probably don't like me. I don't think he finishes outside the top 10. I think he'll still be in the top 10, but I don't think he's a top 5 guy. I think he'll finish 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there.
DK and AJ Brown in Dynasty is so freaking groovy. I love the use of the Rumboyz lingo at the end of that sentence there. Yes, Miles. Yes. For those who don't know, groovy is like that's our like that's just chill, that's just dope. Like, you know what I mean? Another Rumboyz lingo, keeping it player. That's just like I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm gonna just keep it 100. Like that's just I don't know. We have our own shit. It was just weird. Y'all be on the lookout for that. It's coming. See, Troy's like I say groovy all the time. See,
Dude, today I said, let's get it. And after I sent the tweet, I was like, that's the most Troy line. Like, it's like rubbing, we talk too much. You know, like when you get like close to somebody and all of a sudden you're using words they use, you're like, I've never said that in my entire life.
Tell me how's this, Linda? Tell me how's this? What's going on, guys? Good morning. It's your boy Troy, and I just want to let you guys know that I want you to have the most positive day, and all your affirmations and goals may they come true. I'm about to go get in the gym. Let's get it.
It's a little bright in your background for that to be like, but like spot on impersonation. Dog, wake up! This motherfucker's text. I'll wake up to like 30 text messages. I'm like, how are you guys already going? It's like 6 a.m. He's like, yo, we're going to have a good day. You're like, oh, okay.
Looks like, all right,
I haven't even opened my eyes yet, bro.
Guess we fucking are. Like,
God love him.
Maybe I didn't want to have a good day today, Troy. Okay, you ever think about that?
I love you, Troy.
Fucking
I'm just
love you,
picking
bro.
on you. Yeah.
It's great because like we can pick on them, but like let someone else pick on them. Oh,
bro,
hell,
we're fighting. Yeah.
Hey, yeah. You ever thrown hands before?
I feel that way all the time. And say whatever you want about me, but you come at my friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is why we fucks with each other. Don't be don't fuck with the Rumboyz or the confidential squad. You dig? I'm gonna leave DK right at 7. And I know that you disagree, but I'm gonna leave him right at 7. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I can be okay with 7.
Like if I get that one wrong, I'm gonna just take it on the chin. I'm gonna just let Twitter just be like,
yeah,
you put it at 7 and you interviewed them because you know they're gonna do it. Now,
yeah,
this is the first time here on the list. We're gonna go ahead and segue perfectly right into 8 that we have 2 receivers from the exact same damn team, and that is Tyler Lockett coming in at 8. Now, I really feel that this is super inflated for Lockett only because of one game. I'm trying to remember what game was that? I want to say like week 5.
Yeah, it was early.
It was early, like week 5, week 6. Damn it, I can't remember. But your thoughts on Tyler Lockett?
Man, that pure little virgin. I don't know. Like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are like those 2 wide receivers. The same with like Kupp and Robert Woods. And I'm not saying they're the same. I'm saying don't ever roster them both. Fucking pick one and stick to your guns, because you roster them both and you have to make a decision about who to sit. You are going to sit the wrong one 100 times out of 100 times. That's just the way it goes. So I guess if you believe in Tyler Lockett's, getting older. He'll be 28, I think, this year. May have already turned 28. So that's, you're getting at a juicy age there. My hips will agree with me. They hurt.
That's not that you say that about Tyler Lockett, because like my last season, don't worry guys, I'm retired. I haven't touched the field in a hot minute. Even though like I'm supposed to be having a game coming up soon. But that's actually like my most recent year of flag football. That's who I mirrored my exact route running and my exact catching style like off of is Tyler Lockett. And it's kind of ironic that you say that because he is losing his step and his speed. And I know people are like, well, he had 100 receptions last year. He still had 1K yards, 1K plus yards. He had the double-digit TDs. Robbie and during a special breakdown wide receivers break down their stats. You bitched and you griped about that the whole time. Being quantifiable in all 3 of those categories. Yes, he did it, but at what cost to you in fantasy football? Like when I look at his real NFL stats and I look at the 265.4 and an average of 16.6 over the course of 16 games, I don't feel like as a Tyler Lockett owner, I reciprocated that. I feel like most weeks I was better off benching him and maybe playing a T. Higgins, who I think that could possibly replace him on this list later down the line. Like I think that T Higgins is a guy that is probably going to have a major jump. I think that Terry McLaurin, the F1 Scottish lad, he's probably gonna take over Tyler Lockett's spot at that 8 spot. I don't think that Lockett repeats in the 8. I actually want to drop him probably down to like 15.
Yeah, I think he's a wide receiver 2 next year.
For sure.
Also, I think Terry McLaurin has the potential to be a top 10, but it's going to depend on who's slinging the ball to him.
I think that it depends on who he's going to be slinging the ball to, and I think that it's also going to be codependent on if they can get a wide receiver 2 or not. If Corey Davis or Marvin Jones Jr. or even Marquez Valdez-Scantling, if any of those 3 makes the transition to Washington, solid. If Washington goes big at receiver and they go Kenny Galladay or Allen Robinson, I'm telling Terry McLaurin owners to get ready to move. Right now, all of you guys are holding Terry McLaurin like you're holding Dogecoin right now. Yes, I went with the stock reference. You guys are holding that shit right now. Okay, hold McLaurin and then wait to find out what wide receiver 2 comes from the all season. There is going to be one coming. From what I've been hearing. Shout out to my homie Adam Harris over there at CNBC over at NBC. Actually, he just wrote a book, by the way. You guys should check it out. I'll get the name of that book. Homie that I graduated with. But depending on what wide receiver 2 comes to Washington, that's going to depend on if McLaurin's stock is going to skyrocket. In terms of Lockett, I'm moving him down to 15, and I think a guy like McLaurin can move up. I think a guy like Robbie Anderson could land in his spot. You know, because Robbie Anderson's always done it with sucky ass teams, and they may not have Bridgewater. T. Higgins, who I mentioned.
Can I ask you a fun question?
Oh, I love hot takes.
What's your Terry McLaurin take? Say Juju lands in Washington.
Shit.
I think Juju is meant to be a wide receiver 2.
So I do believe that Juju is solely meant to be a wide receiver 2.
And a good one. I'm not saying he's like, but that's like his role.
But I do have that initial that it hits my shit reaction right there, like fuck, like because I know that's gonna pull away some targets because you're gonna be tempted to go to a receiver of Juju's caliber. So that worries me. I would advise if that were to happen, hold, and if it doesn't work out for you by week 3, hurry up and move. If you're the Juju owner, you're moving Juju. If you're if you're the Juju owner, Juju's doing well, then you're going to hold. If you're the McLaurin owner and Juju starts to cut in, you're going to move and see if you can pick yourself up something with a little bit more solidification behind it. The Juju wide receiver 1 era, very short-lived, very, very short-lived. I agree.
I love Juju too. God damn it.
I like that you brought that up, by the way. Guys, go back and check out my take from the Rumboyz summit. And I stated that Juju was going to be a wide receiver 2. But I'm sorry, Linda, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're fine. I'm just talking.
Isn't that what we do? But let's see here. You ready to move into the next receiver? We got 2 more here to go on the list.
Oh, I'm ready.
Number 9. We don't know if he is going to be in the same location. I think that this is the first receiver that we really get to speculate if they're going to be in the same spot and how that is going to look for them, and that is Allen Robinson. This one's super interesting because he landed at 9 last year on an offense where he had not 1 but 2 very fucking mediocre quarterbacks, and that's Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles. And I can't even call him Big Dick Nick because it's like, bro, the way that you performed last year for Chicago, like you did exactly what I always knew you were. You were always that guy underneath that Jeff Fisher offense and that St. Louis Rams uniform, Nick Foles. You and Case Keenum are just always that guy. But what are your thoughts on Allen Robinson? Even if you want to give some speculation on where he could land.
Oh, there's so many. This free agency is just like insane. How much turnover I think we're gonna see. I know.
Get your friend.
Somebody said that the other day. I said we were talking about it on a podcast on Monday, and somebody said they would not like that at all. So I don't know what to tell you, Troy. But I think Allen Robinson's pretty much proved that he can do it regardless of who's throwing to him. Like you said, if it's if he's finishing top 10 with Trubisky and Foles, then if he gets an upgraded quarterback or if he goes somewhere to be a wide receiver one, like he was for the Bears, I don't think he stays in Chicago. For what it's worth,
he was even a dominant force to be reckoned with when he was in Jacksonville, you know. So I mean, like we both mentioned, I mean, he's just one of those guys, you know, kind of how we talked about earlier with what's his name, D-Hop, where it doesn't matter who's throwing in the ball, they're going to produce. So I agree with you that he ends top 10. Where he ends up is what's really fucking with me. Like, for some reason, as I drink this Red Stripe and I get ready to load up this Multa, I'm like, damn, you know what? I'm gonna hate it, but as an analyst, I gotta keep it player, and I can't, you know, give the biased thing of like, oh, he's gonna go to Washington. But I do think he ends up in the NFC East, and I do think that Philadelphia could be a place. You have to replace D-Jax, who's old as shit. Jalen Reagor needs a mentor. You don't want to go receiver again in the draft because what has that been doing for you over the last few years? So you can't repeat the same mistake. What would it be? I wouldn't say twice. What, 3 times? Right? It'd be 3 times that they would know because it was Carson. They went. Fuck. What was the receiver they got? JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and then and then they went Reagor. So yeah, like you can't repeat that. Like you cannot repeat that cycle.
Right.
Jalen Hurts, you got to give him something to work with because I feel like you drafted him for a reason.
Yeah, a weird reason, but I'm also not a Jalen Hurts stan. But it doesn't matter. We're not talking about quarterbacks, so I don't have to get beat up for my take on that.
I think that Hurts could be great if you give him a receiving core. I mean, he's always dealt with adversity through his career, so dealing with the adversity that you're going to be put through, you know, in the NFL. I mean, fuck, you know. Club Fantasy says they don't have money for anyone. This is true because they have to get rid of that god awful Carson Wentz contract. Don't talk about my dirty birds. We're struggling. So then Philly can't be a place because of this reason right here.
I want Allen Robinson to go somewhere with a super competent quarterback because I think he can be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. He doesn't drop passes. He's always been dominant. He's just never had that dominant counterpart. So I would love to see him go somewhere with somebody worth a damn.
Allen Robinson, check your phone. Washington's giving you a call right now. Yo, you know.
Yeah, but who the hell's going to be throwing to him?
Henneke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we re-signed him. And I'm completely okay with it. Like I'm completely okay with it. I'm like, and I'm even willing to do a fucking Miami thing, and bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick as a quarterback. Let Henneke sit behind him. Like, fuck it.
I want Ryan Fitzpatrick to come to Denver. So,
yo, if I'll have to hit up my Connect for you and get you some Broncos tickets. Fucking let's see. So we got one more receiver to break down. No, Fitz is not yours, Troy. Fitz is not yours.
No, you guys benched him for an unprepared Tua. Sorry.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Like I was gonna say
that shit was weird.
That shit pissed me off. I was so mad because I was literally like, I was like, Miami's gonna make the playoffs, yeah. And then they did that, and I was like, oh, Miami's fucked. Like you're playing around with too many things. Like I don't know if you test or anything, but like you know, once you make a move, you can't go back and alter it. You know, so once
they tried a lot to undo it. But like, imagine being a rookie in the NFL. And they're like, okay, you've got the job. And then you're like losing and they pull you fourth quarter and go like, never mind. We changed our mind. You don't have the job. Over and over again. Like more than once. What is that? That can't be good. as somebody with poor mental health, I'm pretty sure that would not be good for your mental health.
In agreement, in 100% agreement. Let's go ahead. Let's get into our very last wide receiver, and that is Adam Thielen, who I don't think is probably going to be anywhere in this top 10 period.
Agreed.
Okay. Wow. Well, that was easier than what I thought. So, what is your supporting theory behind that, though?
See, I still love Adam Thielen. Like, I adore his story and how he got to where he is, and all the adversity that, like, all the people being like, and him being like, damn it, I'm gonna do it. And I think he did do it, but again, he's aging. He's not somebody I'm scared, like in redraft next year when I'm drafting, I won't mind having him as my wide receiver too, because I still think
he'll be my flex.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's fair. But I think he'll still be helping Justin Jefferson next year, and not as much, but I think he'll still see a touchdown and just a regular targets per game that makes him worth not being worried about starting.
Yeah, I don't think that you worry too much about starting him. I think he could be a wide receiver 2 or a flex, like you mentioned. But this is where I love to refer to the history of the NFL and the history of the league. Like I mentioned before, Randy came in and took over that Vikings team and that Vikings wide receiver core. Justin is going to do the same thing, especially with a 30-year-old Thielen, who is gonna be 31. You all out there know just as well as I do, because guess what? You're fucking human beings just like me. The older you get, certain things diminish. And in football, it happens significantly faster. And it happens a lot quicker. We're talking about a sport where you are in a 60-minute car crash over and over and over again. Believe me, I'm the same person that at 30 years old misses this sport. Till this day, I'm like, damn, I would love to fucking just get hit on a slant route right now by a linebacker. You know, Thielen is getting old. And when you get into your 30s, you don't have the same speed. A lot of the game, especially at the wide receiver position, is about what you do in the possession game. Middle of the field passes, catch the ball middle of the field, getting yourself down, protecting yourself, and lasting longer. This offense should have easily had 2,000-yard receivers. Easily. You know, Thielen had the 14 TDs. Jefferson, you know, should have been able to complement a little bit more. This offense is going to move on from Thielen. You see it in the stats, the 74 receptions. Damn, you just missed that 1,000-yard mark. We're gonna make sure we write that into your sign-in bonus next year. You get 1,000 yards, and you know we're gonna give you a little bit of extra cash. Look for shit like that to start happening. Look for shit like that to be written in Thielen's contract. Okay, and if he comes up short, look for Minnesota to move on from him. Dynasty, I'm telling you guys to move on from him. All right, trade him away. All right, if you are in dynasty leagues that are extensive enough to where you are also simultaneously building an IDP roster, I'm moving Thielen for a cheap guy on defense that can strengthen up my defense a little bit more. You know, that's where I'm really looking at Thielen if I want to get very deep and very strategic. Anything that you wanted to add there, Linda?
No, just that I love him, and I'm glad he had the run that he did. But yeah, Justin Jefferson's he started taking over. I think we see the full influx of that by week 6 of 2021. Yep. And week less than that if they do a preseason, which was a lot of the rookies' issue. Like, we forget that we didn't have a preseason at all. So these kids were thrown into these NFL games without any practice at all. And by week 3, we were going like, oh shit, I was wrong. No, they just aren't. They haven't done any of this yet. Give them some time. And then obviously we had such great production from running backs and wide receivers by the end of the year. But I think next year, Thielen will help out early on, but I think it'll become a Justin Jefferson show by the end of the season.
Also, with Thielen, or not with Thielen. If you guys have him in Dynasty and you have him currently rostered in Dynasty, I know I went very extensive with that, taking moving for IDP. Look at moving him for picks. Let's say you can't move him for like an IDP option. Go ahead and move him for picks then, since that'd be your next bet. I would use this player to try and maybe get me 1 or 2 draft picks in rookie. In the rookie draft.
Even if they're dart throws, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think you can move on from him comfortably, and you're not going to be like, oh shit, like no, there's going to be some talent that you're going to be able to replace him with, and you should hopefully have a deep enough bench so where you already have something that you can get ready to move him in. You should hopefully have like a CD Lamb or something that you could just be like, all right, Thielen, I'm sorry, but we're moving on, and Lamb, you're the guy now. You're getting the promotion. Run your dynasty team like it's a business, like it's a Fortune 500. Yeah, so that's our top 10 receivers and where we think that they could land next year. Hopefully, this has been some formidable information for you guys out there. Linda, before we get into your outro, anything else that you wanted to add? Any advice, in terms of dynasty redraft, that you want people to know, like right now, like early in the game?
Just pay attention. Don't think you know everything. Read what other people write, listen to what other people are saying, and compare it to your notes. It doesn't mean that you have to believe everything that they're saying. It also means you don't have to believe everything that you're seeing. Mm-hmm. I love to look at what other people find out about a player, especially on players that I'm not high on myself. I go to Twitter. I will just search in the search bar, like, who's talking about this guy? What can I find out today? So don't be afraid to learn something from someone else. It's okay if you don't know everything.
Absolutely. I've told you guys once. I've told you twice. I'll tell you a million times. In the words of the late great Bruce Lee, be water. When it comes to fantasy football, be water. Never, ever get too attached to any particular player. It's okay to be high on someone, but attachment, that can lead you down road of sorrow. We've all been in relationships before. You ever been attached to somebody that don't want to be attached to you? Shit. Okay. Hate to bring all those memories up now. Like half the chat's like, fuck. Now I gotta go put on Drake. Gotta go put on some T-Fizz.
Yeah, I'm listening to Taylor Swift as soon as we log off.
See, I did that purposely. That was an alley-oop right there to you. But no, I mean, be water. And I can't stress this enough. You can never have too many sources. You may have a source like, I really fuck with the way that they deliver content to me. They speak in layman's terms. Just because, you may fuck with the Rumboyz doesn't mean that you shouldn't check out Fantasy Confidential. Just because you fuck with Confidential doesn't mean that you should not still. This is going to sound really messed up. I know that the smaller people in the industry, the independent analysts are going to be pissed. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't check out Adam Rank and everybody else on NFL Network, because they might provide you some insight. You might be like, oh, what they said was stupid, So have as many sources as possible. The more books you have on a subject, the more you can learn about that subject. If I go to the library and I check out 5 books on the Roman Empire, they're going to teach me 5 different things in 5 different ways of me understanding that subject. So think about it that way. But other than that, Linda, go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh my God, everywhere. So Monday nights, I do a podcast at 7:15 Eastern. You can find that at Fantasy Besties. It's just some people I met through the Scott Fish Bowl. We chatted every day. One day we were like, why don't we just talk live? Because what else are we doing? And then Wednesdays, like you said, on Fantasy Football Confidential, I write for a website called For Fantasy's Sake. You can find them at FFSQC on Twitter. And then today we just announced, and finally I can say it live, that I'm taking over the Speakeasy at Club Fantasy, and I'm going to be interviewing women in sports, women in fantasy football, women in football, women. So I'm super excited about that.
I am so clipping that for your Instagram. Like I'm so gonna screen record that and send it to you for the gram so that you can have that announcement. You deserve that for real.
Thank you. I'm super excited. I've already talked to people. We'll have Miss Rum Girl herself, Steffi Smalls. I'm going to talk to anybody that'll talk to me. So I'm really excited.
Hell yes. I love it and I respect it. Make sure you guys check out everything that's gonna be going down on Club Fantasy, and with the speakeasy over there and everything that Miss Linda Lyons has going on. She is fierce like a motherfucking lion. I tell y'all that. You can find me at Rumboyz Robbie. I guess it's like my Twitter currently. It seems like I'm on a full length 2-week ban from Twitter. Like they're treating me like America's Most Wanted. Like I'm I don't
that's
know.
some bullshit. I got suspended for 12 hours for talking shit on Deontay Johnson's stance, but 2 weeks is a whole nother monster.
See, like I don't suspend me. Like send me an email and be like, hey, we don't like that you said that. Like, don't fucking suspend me.
Yeah,
like that's soft. That's soft.
Yeah,
that's soft. Like, just be like, hey, I didn't like that you said that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry. Like, because you're Twitter, I'll say I'm sorry. But like, if you were anyone else, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But don't take away my posting.
Exactly. Yeah, but don't take away like my ability to run my company. Shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we greatly appreciate you guys for joining us. At Rumboyz Spell Disease, where you can follow me. Literally, just Google me. Like, type Rumboyz into Google. It'll pull up rumboyz.com. It'll pull up our TikTok, our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook. Show love everywhere, because the more love that is shown, that's the more people that can find out about us and what we're doing. New live lineup coming. We're going to be coming to you guys live around the clock, 7 days a week, pretty much is what it's looking like. And be on the lookout for all of our new writers. They're going to be coming to you guys over at rumboyz.com. 2 new articles just posted over there this morning, so go check them out. And cheers to me. Cheers to you, all the boys and girls. What it do? Dilly. Love and appreciate all of you. We out of here. Peace. Red Stripe, give me money.